Hello YouTube, this is Kleptophes. Excuse me, sorry. It's been a little while since I recorded a video with voice, so I figured I would give it a go. What do I have? Hold on. Apparently it was in game. Oh yeah, I was sending this thing to Mars. Oh, is my phone not gonna rotate? There we go. Okay, I was sending this thing to Mars, but yeah, we're a little ways off that right now. I've got a lot of things, as you can see. Got a few things in LEO. I've got Oh yeah, these two I intended to return to Earth at some point and never got around to it. So they're just stuck around the moon now. And then I've got a lot of stuff orbiting the sun because I was trying to hit Mars and missed. And I do have something on Mars itself. Um, just a little rover. I wonder if it's charged any actually. And that would be a no. So yeah, if I just put it this way, depleted power supply. That's gonna hurt the solar panel. Okay. Let's build new. So let's put a human. Yeah, let's put a human on Mars. I have tried this in the past and it has not worked. Also, yes, parachutes do work on Mars. So there's that. That's pretty much the only thing I have going for me. Da -ba -da -ba -da. I mean, they're not coming back, right? So maybe I can. Maybe I can just give them a bit of mobility on the red planet. There we go. No, maybe I shouldn't attach that. There we go. Now we add a couple more. Those are probably too big, so let's go with these. Slightly smaller engines, big parts. I am using the free game, as you can tell from my part selection. Um, I don't really have that much available. So now if I do that, I can use... Oh yeah, it's an aerodynamics. I can use these things. Alright, let me add one more so that it doesn't look weird. One more square. Oh, whoops. There we go. Flip it. There we go. Alright. Basic. We'll put 3 engines on this. This is way, way more engines than I actually need. And it's probably a bad idea to use this many, but you know what? Screw it. Let's go all in. So I'm actually going to put 2 fuel tanks here like this, and that way they'll feed into each other. And then I'll just put the rest of them down. I'm not sure how far down I can go. But yeah, this way if I just put these 2 here, then this instead of this being um, instead of this being 2 different fuel tanks, it will be all one fuel tank, and it feeds. Hmm, and it all feeds the same. It all feeds the engines, so it all feeds into all of the engines. Instead of, you know, if I did it like this, then this side will feed. This side will feed into this engine, and this side will feed into this engine, which isn't what I want. So now if I just quickly grab one more engine, Perfect. Um, I'll be honest with you. I don't think this is going to make it to Mars. I don't even know if this will make it off Earth. No electric power source. Oh yeah, I need something to power the wheels, don't I? Alright, back to build. I need to now... Oh, well, that's easy enough. And I need to go into utility, put the battery there, and then this out of the way, put this back, and put that on top. Perfect. Now hit play. Okay. Enable all the engines. Okay, so pretty slow liftoff, around 29, 30 meters per second. Pretty slow as rockets go, but it will get faster as it drains the fuel and as it pushes through less and less atmosphere. So I hope we're at least 200 by the time we reach 2,000 meters. We should be. If we're not, let's start to turn the weapon. Oh yeah, let's turn these off so that they're not wasting power. Or 4,000 meters, I'm just going to start to farther over. I need to be 45 degrees by 10 kilometers. That's about 30 degrees. And it's 60 by 15 kilometers, so let's continue from 13 and 15. And let's see what that looks like on our map. Well, we're definitely in space. Granted, it's not a particularly nice orbit. Let's just try and push it out some. Alright, and we're already out of fuel in those. Let's go ahead and do that. And that should push the apoapsis a little bit. You can kind of see why I'm saying I don't think this is going to get us to Mars, though, can't you? I don't know, maybe it will. 4, 40.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. I'm going to let the apoapsis get up to 50. And then I'll turn the engines off. And then I'll circularize when I reach the apoapsis. So 49, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. Perfect. Okay, 25 times acceleration. Okay, turn to face the apoapsis. That's a little bit fast. And burn again. This should circularize the orbit, and I don't think we actually have enough fuel to do that. So this could be an issue. We'll see what happens though. Alright, so I'm going to need to use the next stage. 2 engines on. Nope, just 1 engine on. Alright. This stage should be able to circularize us. Oh yeah, this will do. Okay, so I just used 2 stages of a rocket that's supposed to take me to Mars just to circularize an orbit. Alright, that is a terrible orbit too, with a periapsis of 37.7 and an apoapsis of 63.6. That is horrible for a low Earth orbit. But our goal isn't low Earth orbit, our goal is Mars, so let's go ahead and see when the nearest burn time is to get to Mars. So I actually need to zoom in quite a bit here so that I can see Mars. Set as target. Oh yeah, I'm going to turn the screen. Sorry, that was probably annoying plenty of you, having to watch it sideways. Now if I zoom out, you can see this right here, right there, that's where I need to burn. Earth is a little distance away from that, and that is what time acceleration is for. If I go 50,000 times, Earth seems to move quite slowly still. Basically, I'm just hoping I can push the spacecraft to Mars and actually get people onto the surface of Mars without crashing into it would be the hope, but I mean, even if they crash into it, it'd be more of an achievement than what I've done in the past. I mean, sure, I've got a rover on Mars. My ultimate goal is actually to... Okay, that's going way too slowly. Eventually, I actually want to try to build a habitable complex on Mars in this game. Okay, so Earth is almost around its orbit, and that... Let's push it out to the center. And that should do. So let's take a look at our spacecraft more closely now. Where do we need to be when we burn? And we need to be on the other side of the planet, facing... If I just turn the spacecraft around, that way. Turn it back, turn it back. Oh yeah, I didn't put RCS on this thing, so hopefully that's not too much of a problem. Alright, you know what, let's just get there. Don't worry about it then. Okay, perfect. Now turn the spacecraft and burn. Okay, this doesn't seem right because we seem to be burning into the inner rim of the solar system, but and that's actually, I mean, we are, but we're burning it to the point that we're going to get a Mars encounter. And that's the same way, it's kind of the same way I got something to the moon. It was just a much shorter burn. And of course, the moon doesn't have an atmosphere, so I needed to use landing legs and propulsive landing. Alright. Definitely leaving Earth's sphere of influence now. There we go, we have a Mars encounter. Now let's take a look at Mars. See exactly how close that encounter is. Not close at all, so let's go ahead and throttle down, burn, and I just broke it. Alright, let's turn ourselves the other way. Alright. Zoom back into Mars. Whoops. Alright, we're throttling way too fast. So point back the other way again. And I've learned that I myself need to do a lot of fine-tuning because I suck at Martian encounters. Alright. Okay. If I can get this down to like less throttle and burn in the opposite way. Remember, I still have an engine on this that I'm not using, and I don't reckon I'm going to use, so it might just be dead weight. I guess we'll see. I think I just got an encounter with one of Mars's moons just there. Alright. 306, 5, 4, 3, 2. Alright, 300 kilometers from Mars's surface. That is not a bad encounter at all. So let's go ahead and speed time up until we get there. Left the sphere of influence of Earth. Coming around past Mars's orbit. And... Alright, soon. And we are now in Mars' sphere of influence. So let's quickly speed this up. Once I get inside Deimos' orbit, I'm going to slow it down. And slow it down a little bit. And slow it down a lot. Okay, maybe not quite as much. And slow it down. And slow it down to 1 times acceleration. And burn. trying to bring that apoapsis down. So the game will give us a little notification when we enter Mars's orbit. As we can see, we now have. Okay, stop burning, quick. No, burn again. Alright. That's a pretty elliptical orbit, if I'm honest, but. Uh, No, honestly, at this point, I have 2 more stages of rocket, and I don't really know what to do with them, so. What's the point, actually? Flying backwards along the orbit, and. Okay, stop. Face that way. Slow it down. Okay, that's a much better orbit around Mars. I think I'm just gonna ditch that stage, to be honest with you, because I don't see it being much use. Alright, engine on, and we're going to slow down into a Martian encounter on the other side of Mars, so there should do. Perfect. And if I detach this, we should no longer need it. Okay, this could be a problem. Alright, we're below 15 kilometers now, so that's good. That will explode upon hitting the planet, because re-entry heating isn't a thing in this game. Now, one thing I do need to be careful of is the parachute won't deploy. Actually, no, I'm just going to pause the video here until I get down there, because honestly, this part takes way too long for anyone to care, so I will be back with you. Okay, so I'm now at 1900 meters. I should open the parachute really, but you can see I'm moving over 250 meters per second, and parachute open. There we go. Now that should open when we reach about 100 meters. Kind of use it as a drag chute there to kind of eliminate some horizontal momentum that I actually didn't know I had. But yeah, at 100 meters it should open, and then I can just start driving. Now, I kind of neglected to put solar panels on this thing, so once it's out of power, it's out of power. Okay, never mind. The wheel exploded on Mars. Um, I mean, we're there, right? Kinda useless now. But we got people on Mars and they didn't explode, so there is that. And then of course there's this. Just still upright and still hasn't charged. I took you to Mars, why won't you charge for me? I mean, I opened your solar panel, I took a different ship entirely to Mars. Anyway, back to build. So this is the rocket. It's, yeah. I'm not going to bother saving it because honestly there's no point. I do have a lot, and I mean a lot, of saved rockets. This one is my favorite. Saturn V, built to operate almost exactly like Saturn V. Oh, and should get rid of that. There's only one J2 in there. Alright, so yeah, that's the Saturn V anyway, and yeah, it works. It gets to the moon. I pushed it to Mars once because I was curious to see what it could do. It can do that. Oh yeah, and this. I was trying to launch a space station into orbit. You can kind of see here. That's what I was doing. Um, I mean, technically, this piece is in orbit. It's just not a very good orbit. I wonder if I would have fared better if I'd... Okay, you know what, that's enough. I've been recording for 20 minutes now according to my recording software. I've been recording for longer than that because I paused the game. So... Yeah, rocket is powerful. So... I guess that's gonna be it for me. So, on this explosion... Oh, the probe survived. Great. Alright. On that note, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.